Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Hearts of Iron 4 Together for Victory Let's Play episode. It's Canada. So, the question is, where were we right now? Well, it's March 1937. We have our 13 divisions right over here. And that's good. Because it makes it easy to say like where we want them. We probably want to make... Why don't we have a template for this? Oh, support equipment and towed artillery, which is fine because we need army experience to get those. So, and now cavalry militia, this is fine. We're gonna use those as garrisons. Armored division, not really that useful, so to speak. But hey, we're gonna get into it very soon. Insufficient resources. We still need so much more tungsten and steel, but you see, the reason why I don't want to trade for this, again, as I mentioned before, well, take a look at this. We have 3 civilian factories working on this, on constructing the civilian factory. Yes, civilian factories are used to build more civilian factories, along with like all of this stuff over here, basically. Now, if we are to trade, let's say we go to steel and we try and get as much as we need from USA. Let's say we need the steel from USA because we need 5 steel. Now, the problem is here that we can buy 8 for 1 civilian factory. So basically, if we do that, yes, we won't have a shortage of steel, but we're gonna only have 2 civilian factories working on this, on building this civilian factory. So that's killing a third of our construction speed, basically, which would be horrendous, really. So we don't want to do that. We're gonna keep building as many civilian factories as we can, because the faster we build them and the more we build, the better it's gonna be later on. And let's be honest here. Since we're joining the war pretty late, what's going to end up happening is that all of this equipment here is going to be useless, except for support equipment. Infantry equipment and artillery, we're not gonna need this like tier 1 equipment. Support equipment will never get old, which probably would be just... It might actually be good to work on that, but actually, do we have enough aluminum? Yes, we have plenty of aluminum. So honestly, I might just work on this. Not build any infantry equipment or artillery at all, you know? So that's probably a good idea. And just add them like this and eventually just switch them out for when we're ready. So this is good now. We have all of this working. Because if we get a lot of support equipment, which we're gonna be needing, then we won't have to put so many factories on them later on. So this is good. And again, the support equipment never gets old. It's evergreen, so to speak. But yeah, now let's return to the game. Keep it on speed 5. Gonna send our troops here. And I do actually... Now, this guy is pretty good. He has hills movement +5, attack +10, defense +10%. But I want to go with the field marshal because I want to have like lots more divisions. Now we did get the Vickers here, so it's still 37. Could get motorized. But honestly, well, I'm going to start land doctrines very, very soon there. It's going to be very, very important. And engineering-wise, 1938. This is all 1937 stuff. And there's another thing that I need to mention. So, okay, you see all of this construction here, all the excavation. Normally it takes quite a long time to build, but I'll show you something in the national focuses of Canada. So you see, right here, which is one of the reasons why we're getting this, is a focus called Supply the Empire, which gives us 50% research bonus for excavation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to research this these techs here really, really fast. It's gonna be in a much done in a much smaller amount of time. So this is why we're not researching that right now. And we actually have to research something here though. So what we're gonna be doing here is looking at probably artillery. AA is not what we want because let's face it, we are Canada, we have USA, UK on our side, and there's also going to be fighting Soviet Union. So likely, all three of these nations are going to be building a lot of airplanes. So they are going to get basically command of the skies over Germany, most likely. So us building anti-air guns, not or anti-air brigades for that matter, or like support brigades, whatever you want to call them. They are not really going to be very impactful. So instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to need artillery against Germany and anti-tank. These two are very important, so we're going to be going for that. Honestly, I'm going to start interwar artillery right now. And here, thankfully, UK has researched this, so I can get the Hurricane. Air doctrines, I'm also getting this. Probably should have gotten it later on, but yeah, I'm going to get the Hurricane here. Once the concentrated industry is done, I can start focusing on the land doctrine that I want. And yes, I know UK is taking this, but honestly, I don't want it. I want superior firepower, because firepower, I want to see massive damage done from our side, so that's what we're gonna take, basically. Now, if you do think about it, though, we can also go another route. We can go mass assault. Now, mass assault, if we go with mass assault and go for this way, for instance, we get a lot of recruitable pop, and I think this one doesn't give recruitable pop, does it? No, just a lot of supply consumption. So, if we were to take this as well, it wouldn't be too bad either. Add a supply, organization, entrenchment, division attrition, infantry recovery rate, but doesn't help them too much in battle, so to speak. So, you know, it's not quite something that I want really. I want massive damage, and what helps massive damage is superior firepower doctrine. Now we just researched two at the same time. They're very good stuff. So now we can go over here, land doctrine, go for superior firepower, switch to that. Then we can switch over here as well. Man, that'll be done so fast, 99 days, trench warfare. I really don't want to entrench myself. So what I'm gonna be doing here is 18%, 18% artillery. We're researching this. Now I want to get the anti-tank researched. Or do I? Well, I also want to build the motorized, and it's 18% discounted, so why not? Okay, Hindenburg, disaster! And we got a national focus. Probably should choose a national focus before we read this event. Or actually, let's just read the event first. So, the Hindenburg disaster. The German passenger airship Hindenburg was destroyed today while attempting to dock at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station in the United States. For reasons not yet determined, the airship was engulfed in flames and crashed to the ground, claiming 35 lives. Due to the scarcity and expense of helium and the US ban on exporting it, the Hindenburg, like all German passenger airships, was ultimately engineered to use hydrogen, which provides greater lift, but is also flammable. With public faith shaken by this disaster and the rise of much faster passenger aircraft, this could spell the end of the era of airships. Well, yes, it could. Now, since we got a national focus here, we have to think about what we take. 'Cause there's nothing here that is really that good, but okay, Hawker, Hurricane, Supermarine, Spitfire, and Supermarine Spiteful. Okay, so this would be 140. Hawker, Hurricane, 50%. This would be amazing. So I think we want to go for that. And there's nothing here that really is that great, to be fair. So yeah. I'm just gonna go with this right here, because I also want some fighters, you know. So why not? Now once we're done here, we have our Small Arms Limited. We have like... We do need the air design, maybe. No. Well, actually, yes, because air research time minus 10%. So that's not too bad either. Political advisor, not really necessary. So that's fine. Now, tank designer, no, nothing here really helps right now for research, except light aircraft designer, which is really what we want to build because we want air superiority. Air superiority is one thing that you really want because it helps a lot. Like, you should really have air superiority. It's just so important. Now we can modify our government, so with that we can go for the light aircraft guy, but here, as you can see, we cannot actually change anything. This armed nation is not really what we want. As you see, nothing here, like everything here doesn't, up until limited conscription, no molasses, so really there's no point in having anything less than limited conscription if you want, because only after that it has like a malus, but really training time plus 10% is really, doesn't really matter. Now, after that is when it becomes more annoying, because yes, you get a lot of recruitable pop, but then look at that factory output and construction speed. So you really have to be careful with how you do it after that. Amelia Earhart disappears. So let's see what happened here. The famous aviator Amelia Earhart, the first woman to complete a solo flight across the Atlantic, has disappeared along with her navigator Fred Noonan near Howland Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The two were attempting a flight around the entire world in their twin-engined Lockheed Electra plane when they vanished. A search for the missing aviators is now being conducted by the US Navy and Coast Guard, but there's little hope finding them. A loss for aviation. Well, they'll never find them, unfortunately, and we have a lot of political power now. So we can go with the light aircraft designer or something here, but honestly, what can we get here that actually helps? Because there's nothing here that actually helps. War industrialist is eventually going to be good, but you know, we're not going to build any mill factories anytime soon, so it's just all going to be more and more on the civilian side. More and more stuff happening. Okay, so we finished this national focus. So we're gonna go with, we have the hurricane, because we actually do have the hurricane. So, or well, we don't have the hurricane, but we want to have the hurricane. Now, leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Uncertainty has long reigned in the Soviet Union. While details are scarce, there has been a series of secret trials on the highest level, and both generals and ministers have disappeared from the public eye. The natural assumption is that some great conspiracy has been uncovered within the Communist Party. Oh, great conspiracy. But no official statement has been made. In addition, the diplomatic reports we have access to indicate that evidence presented at these trials has been far from indisputable. Whatever has been happening, the structure of the Soviet High Command has changed irrevocably. Soviet command has suffered greatly, well, as it should. Marco Polo Bridge incident. Japanese and Chinese forces have skirmished inconclusively over the strategic Marco Polo Bridge, located just southwest of Beijing. China has rejected Japan's demands for an apology and territorial concessions, claiming instead that the breaking point of Japanese aggression has been reached. Diplomats fear that the volatile situation could result in war at any time. Interesting times indeed. Interesting times indeed. That's one way to put it. Okay. Now, are we getting the motorized guy? Yes, we are, and we just got interwar artillery. Really good stuff. We want the anti-tank too. Yes, let's get the anti-tank. Because really, there's nothing else much better to research right now, so might as well research the anti-tank, right? So, yeah. Now, political advisor, we're definitely gonna go with the war industrialist. For sure. Liberals 86%, CCF 11%. Okay. But nobody's getting in popularity, so it's all good, really. And yeah, you can see we already went... Oops. It happened. Japanese buildup on Chinese border. Following the Marco Polo Bridge incident, Japan has not let down their pressure on the Chinese border. In conjunction with aggressive Japanese rhetoric speaking of terrible retaliation for China's refusal to cooperate, A renewed war between Japan and China seems more and more likely by the day. The diplomatic situation will soon reach a boiling point, and Japan has expressed no interest in defusing the situation. The conflict in China is worrying. Oh really? It's worrying now after it was interesting. Okay. Whatever you say. Now, we got to a point where we can get some military factories, and we can go for the plan. So we can go for... So we have the Hurricane, right? Now this radar technology stuff would be not good, not bad, but still. We would add radio detection, which I think we already researched, right? Radio and radio detection? What? I think we messed up a little bit because this would give us... Yeah. No. We didn't mess up. We didn't get radio detection, so that's fine. Now all of this stuff here is not too bad. Like, if we look at this here now for Navy, we're not gonna do anything with it, you know, so we couldn't really care less, I guess. But the thing we're gonna do next, of course, is, well, I think Shadow Factories. Because if we go for Shadow Factories, we get Mill Factories, which, okay, I guess we're gonna make just a tiny bit more support equipment. But we can get the plan. The plan helps a lot with the national spirit, of course, like this is massive. But, the big difference here is supply the Empire. Once we get supply the Empire, just look at this. All this aluminum, and then all the oil here, it's like so massive. It's like so many resources. You can feed all of your allies with it, or you can keep it yourself, you know. So that's good. And yeah, I went the historical route here. We're gonna go with the allies. Now, of course, as I said, we're gonna pick Shadow Factories, but I'm just gonna check just to be sure, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Shadow Factories. Yes. And we have actually finished the motorized, which means we should build some motorized. And yes, this is gonna be priority number 1 after the support equipment. So yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do it like that. There we go. We're gonna have 1 motorized thing. Or actually, are we gonna have like 2? No, I just... no, I didn't just do that. Let's do it like this, and then we have the infantry equipment. There we go, and now it's all good. We can also research something. Now, what can we research, my friend? Well, we have huge hurricane bonus, so now it's only gonna take us 15 days. And of course, looks like nationalist Spain has won the war. The end of the Spanish Civil War. With the surrender of the last Republican strongholds, the Spanish Civil War has come to an end. The nationalists stand victorious, and a new era has begun for Spain. The war-torn country has suffered greatly in the fighting, and there is much rebuilding to be done. An interesting development. Well, interesting development. Again, it's an interesting way to put it, I guess. Okay, so we can modify our government. What can we take? So this stuff here is not the most interesting. Yeah, like all of this stuff. But honestly, we want war industrialist. But let's see, just to be sure, if there's anything better, because I don't think there's anything better. Communism on the rise, fascism on the rise. No thanks. War industrialist is precisely what we're gonna take, and we just instantly got the Hawker Hurricane, because that is how we roll here. Now, the next thing we want is, again, we're researching all of this. Armor is unnecessary. Support brigades. Okay, so we just researched this. And what this means right now is that we can... Oh, this is 50%? Really? 112 days. 38 days. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So first, I'm gonna research probably, yeah, logistics company right here. And then this artillery here, once it's finished, or not artillery, but anti-tank, we're gonna go for the nice computing machine here, which is very, very nice. Just look at that research timer. It is so, so, so good. I love it. It helps a massive amount. It's amazing. And yeah, Shadow Factories is gonna put us so much more in insufficient resources, but hey, we don't really care. I don't care if we don't have enough equipment for our dudes. It's all good. Now, anyway, thank you all for watching, and don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I'll see you next time.